Hi, I'm Ray, and this is Dee.
Hello.
Together, we are Herpetology of the Apocalypse, a Homestuck commentary. Basically, what we're doing is going through Homestuck, looking everything up, and reporting back here what we find.
And we went through we had an ambitious plan that we did not carry out at all because we quickly got derailed by all of the cool references that we had to stop and look up.
It'll probably go a lot faster later on, but for now, it just was like, whoops.
Right? It was a lot of the beginning seems to be like up to the part we've read so far, and I think a bit past that seems to be the author Andrew Hussey kind of clearing his throat and going, what are all the things that I like and that I remember about being this age?
Like terrible movies, putting posters everywhere.
Yes. It turns out Andrew Hussey was born in 1979. He is a certified Gen Xer.
Her age.
My age. So a lot of the reference that were going by me are later on, but these first ones were just ones from my generation that I'd forgotten about. A lot of the movies are cheesy 80 movies and cheesy 90 movie references.
Yep. Not stuff I would know even in childhood.
And a lot of it was stuff that I had not actually watched, so I wasn't familiar enough with it until we started digging. We're gonna kind of have to go back and put page references and notes in later because we don't have like 6 screens, so we can't go like, oh yeah, that one thing that we looked at on this page. We don't have that set up yet. So what we have is our phones and a very large shared document on Google, and we'll be putting the notes up in comments after we're done.
Yes. They'll also eventually be on our webpage for your perusal later.
Yep. We're getting a website set up. Fun times.
Yep. It's not yet there because shenanigans, but
yeah, we're waiting for the DNS to propagate. Do you want to start with some of your stuff? Because I'm looking at mine. I'm like, oh, I think mine's a little bit after yours.
Okay. A lot of the stuff that I did was notice small details and be like, oh, I have thoughts based on this kind of thing. One of the first details I noticed that wasn't just about the dates, because 413 is the Homestuck number, is when when John's first attempt of a name is typed in as Zeus Smell Poop Lord, his little slammer shirt also scrunches his face up the same time he does, goes kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the dates that she's talking about, 413, the first of the Homestuck posts was April 13th, 2009, and the whole thing ran until April 13th, 2016. When it started out, it was posted on mspaintadventures.com, and now it has been migrated over to homestuck.com. And originally, I think everything was in Flash.
Yes, which Flash died.
Flash died. So it had to be like a labor of love kind of thing where a bunch of people got together and helped update it to a Flash emulator so that you could see all of the cool, by cool I use the term loosely, cool stuff as it was originally intended. Mm-hmm. There was I don't know if it's still running, but there was a Homestuck graphic novel, and I think I tried to get the first volume of it, or at least looked at it and went, this is not right. This is not the same thing. If it's not animated and moving, it's really hard to get into the spirit of the thing.
Yes. But also, no, it's no longer running. They just gave up after a certain point. I don't remember where they gave up. But
the graphic novel?
Yes.
Not enough money. We're out. Yeah.
Okay. I think that one is specifically Hussey making commentary on it too. That was the cool bit of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So going back to the 413 thing for a second, it's part of something called Weird Plot Shit, which is based off of Weird Puzzle Shit, something that was said in Problem Sleuth, Hussey's previous work, in which basically shenanigans happen to make a simple goal no longer so simple getting to it. And it's basically Weird Plot Shit is the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, if you, I don't know if you've ever watched, like, the South Park creators have this video about how they plot. And they said it's really simple. You start with a premise, and then you go, I forget what it is, like, and then or something like that, or but then, like they just are like, well, we're gonna get up one thing and kind of explain what's going on, and then we're gonna have a point where we just like add complexity by but then.
Probably it is like that, but no, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But it happens for events, motifs, and concepts. So you'll probably be saying like 413 a lot.
Oh, okay. 413. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in the opening, which I don't have in front of me because I just have my phone and not the entire website, we meet our main character, John Egbert.
Who was first named to smell poop lord.
Okay, tell people why.
Originally he was named that because back in the day, people used to be able to put in what they thought the character should be named in. Like, I don't think it was in the comments. No, I think it was in the comments, and people just commented and he chose one. First he chose a silly one, and then he chose a actually reasonable one.
So, in the beginning of, from what I understand, in the beginning of Homestuck, which he hadn't named then, if I remember correctly, he hadn't named it right away. He just was taking audience participation for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, like, people would put in the most ridiculous commands, and he would do so many episodes, and then he'd ask for inputs. And then you'll see him arguing. You'll see the narrator arguing with the commenters in some of the panels later on.
Yes.
We didn't get that far. Other than the Zoo Smell Poop Lord.
Oh, there'll be a lot more.
Yeah, there will. I think eventually it stopped as
too many commenters.
Yeah, too many commenters, and I think the plot got interesting for him, and he just was like, I'm doing what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, John Egbert, he has a passion for really terrible movies. This is a quote. And we see his teenage bedroom. He is how old?
13.
13. And the movies in his room are Con Air, Ghostbusters 2, Mac and Me, and Deep Impact, which, if you're my age, you know as being perhaps entertaining and perhaps beloved, but certainly not high-quality movies. I was scrolling through stuff and looking up movies, and I have to note that Con Air, the main character played by Nick Cage, is Cameron Poe, and that was in... when was the movie? I didn't write down when Con Air came out, but it sounds a whole heck of a lot like Dameron Poe from The Force Awakens in 97. I just like, yes, the guy from Homestuck was not the only person to really like that name. Ghostbusters 2, I know I watched this at some point, but it's kind of like a hallucination at this level, because all I remember is the painting with the kind of Dracula-looking guy on it, and then I'm like, I've got nothing else. Nothing else was recorded.
There's a Funko Pop of him.
There's a Funko Pop of him. Of course, there's a Funko Pop of him. Why wouldn't there be a Funko Pop of him? Mac and Me. The movie came out originally, and I don't think I saw that. But later on in 2018, there was an MST3K adaptation where everybody was yelling at each other. And apparently in this movie, the product placement was so bad and so heavy that Coke plays a major element as some sort of magical potion.
Coke as in the drink and not cocaine.
Right. We hope.
I mean, back then.
Deep Impact, I actually watched that one, and I watched Armageddon about the same time. This is the first time that I ran into a Hollywood movie thing where they'd have like a pair of movies on almost exactly the same subject come out at almost exactly the same time to kind of chase a news trend. I forget why they were doing, apocalypse movies of that sort at the time, but it was kind of on the tail end of like this huge run of weird apocalypse movies where like some natural disaster would happen and then everybody would freak out. So this was just like disaster movie in space, and then kind of the trend died.
Is Sharknado part of that?
I mean, it could be a satirical take on it later, but this was like their I forget what it was. There was like movies where like there would be some sort of hotel and the whole hotel would be on fire and you'd have to evacuate. Like that was just the movie. Or like the sea would come rushing in and you had to evacuate. Rah! Any excuse for like lots of running and screaming and weird camera shots that are trying to show you, before CGI was a thing, like practical effects of some horrible thing happening across the planet. I really didn't like them, so I don't remember the names right now.
That used to be like a theme of old Roblox games too.
That's odd. Like, why? I don't know. Just an excuse to run around and scream, I guess. Yeah. Why not?
And a hotel too.
At a hotel too. There's been some more recent apocalypse type movies, but like they were so serious back in the day that like actually Airplane, the movie with Leslie Nielsen in it, like Don't Call Me Shirley, that movie. Yeah. That was a spoof on a movie of, it wasn't a natural disaster, but it was a disaster. And it just crashed the plane. And in the original movies, everybody would be like, so deadly serious, we got to save everything. Here's the time. And we're running out of time. And oh my gosh, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then Airplane came on the scene and it was just a hoot. So.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything from that early part there?
Oh. I won't say how, but a lot of the posters are like, at least a little bit of foreshadowing. Not one-to-one, but it's, you'll be like, yep, that happens. All right, sure. But not Coke. Well... All right, we're just going to leave that be.
Okay. All right, so as the scene goes on, at least some of the readers noticed in the original that the main character, John Egbert, appears to have no arms. Tell me about that.
He's just a character with a head, little body that's bean-shaped, legs, no arms. And then he's like, oh no, John, go grab your arms for one of the little prompts. And it's like, well, I guess you should grab your arms. You have to like get them from the chest though. And little cursor is like, oh yeah, I'll help this guy get the cake off of the chest. Now he can go to the little chest. And then he like uses his arms to open the chest. And it's just right there. Fake arms in there too.
Okay, so I think this is a good place to point out something that we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. Mm-hmm. That the whole beginning part, at least, of Homestuck is presented as if it is a video game.
Yes.
So like there's an input place for you to type in whatever you want to type, just as if it were an Infocom early text-based game, even though there are lots of images. The character, the player character, the person playing the game, not the player character, the person playing the game is referred to as you in the messages at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And there's a mouse that the So the viewer character can supposedly move around on the screen and stuff like that. So you see that happening.
A cursor and stuff.
A cursor.
It picks up and physically moves things, yes.
Yeah.
Like the cake.
So it's intrusive. So you'll do things like, say, open the chest, and the cursor will appear to move things off of the chest, and then open it.
And then just John is like, yep, well, you didn't need to do that in the first place. I had arms here.
Yeah, John's arms only appear when necessary. They're like hidden arms.
Same with every other character.
If the creator did not need to draw the awkward hands that every artist hates drawing, then he did not. Okay. Let's see. So when he opens up this chest, which is multiple screens later, he starts talking about picking things up and putting them in a capsulog.
In the Silodex, I think. No.
Okay, so the Silodex is the system, and a capsulog is a card.
Yes.
Or like the capsulog is the process of which there's a capsulog card or something like that. I don't know what I haven't got far enough to know why this is important, but different methods of picking up items and putting them in your saved items through the Silodex vary greatly and are extremely inconvenient. I want to say this is because of early video games in the mid 80s, maybe, where you'd pick up things and you'd only have so many slots. And instead of refusing to pick the thing up, something odd would happen to whatever was already in your inventory so that you could pick up something new. So there are several different ways of this happening called modus. And
specifically, it's... Where did it go?
While you're scrolling, Ray noted earlier that modus was related to modus operandi.
Oh, that was exactly what I was going to
say. Oh, okay. Anyway, modus operandi is more for criminals. They're like, oh, yes, what is his modus operandi? Oh, yes, he always slits the throats of his victims and drags them 6 miles away from wherever he killed them, blah, blah, blah. Serial killers were a big thing in the 80s, where like there wasn't the policing strategies weren't as interconnected across states, and so a serial killer would often work pretty much undetected, or not undetected, but uncaught for a long time. Like a lot of serial killers were caught because they were idiots, but it was possible to find little niches where, like, different police departments in the FBI weren't talking to each other well, and it wasn't like things got planned out that way necessarily. Just people fell through the cracks and were like, "Woohoo! I get to kill more people, and nobody can find me," because different agencies weren't sharing information.
Silly. It's not related to here. Like, John's not gonna become a murderer because of the capsulog system or whatever. No, it just is like basically his card game rule set. Lots of the characters in this will have a card game rule set. However, Hussey gets fed up with them at some point and just drops it.
Oh, okay. So modus operandi doesn't stick around forever.
Not forever, but quite a while.
Quite a while. Yeah, it's like a character will be like, I'm going to pick up something, and then they've accidentally dropped the one thing they needed. Yeet! And off it goes. And they're like, well, we'll never be able to solve the problem now because it's too late. The thing is gone.
Yeah. I think John's is one of the simpler ones, and everyone, like, gives him shit for it. And, like, I would never want any of the other ones. John's simplicity saves him.
Okay. John's is more like you pick up one thing and then, like, the first thing that you picked up that is still in your inventory gets popped out. So it's linear.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it goes, pachoo.
Yep. And so if you want to get anything out of your Sylladex, you have to pick up something else? Or is that not true?
Yes. Well, majoritively.
Okay, for comedic reasons, that's how it works. Okay, got it.
There are, as usual, exceptions to the rules.
Okay. All right. So, it was about here that I went. Is the thing on his shirt that looks kind of like Slimer from Ghostbusters? Is that really Slimer from Ghostbusters, or is that somebody else?
No, it's Slimer from Ghostbusters, like a knockoff version, I think.
Like, please don't hurt me, trademark bros.
A little bit, but there's a joke about it in being a Chinese knockoff, I think, or maybe yeah. Anyways,
we'll see it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Also in his bedroom, there is a poster for Sburb, S-B-U-R-B, on the wall. Spurb. And a Game Bro magazine with Sburb mentioned on the cover. And Sburb is important later.
Yes.
Should we leave it at that?
Yes.
Okay. Game Bro isn't it's just a satire of various game magazines.
It's later, but only like by, I think one other person for like story-wise.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have more things from there, or should we go on with the books?
Oh, go on with the books.
With the stuff in the chest. Okay. So they open up the chest, and here are references. First we have Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. Okay, so apparently Colonel Sassacre is based off Mark Twain. And this is, I don't know if this ever shows up in the game, but it's something that people have tracked down independently and like asked him, and he's like, yeah. Hussey has confirmed that that's where it came from. Mm-hmm. The title of the book, it reminded me of something out of Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. There's the books with the three witches in them. Mm-hmm. They start, and I didn't write down the character's name because I knew I was going to remember it. No, it's gone. They start out in the Kingdom of Blanker, and I think this is the second of the witches' book. Sorry, they start out in the Kingdom of Blanker, and in this particular book, sorcery, I think. Or is it sorcery or is it Weird Sisters? It's Weird Sisters. Okay. It's kind of like a send-up of Hamlet by Shakespeare. Okay. And it's the plot of Hamlet is the Prince of Denmark, his parents, maybe it's Macbeth. I don't remember. Anyway, kings die, other kings are made great, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's three witches, mm-hmm. which are in Macbeth, mm-hmm. as you know, because we've seen that now. Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew about the three witches either way.
Anyway, there's three witches, and the king is dead under suspicious circumstances, and his only heir is a jester, like a illegitimate son who is a jester. Mm-hmm. And the jester is miserable and awful at being a jester. Just terrible. And he has a book. Did I write it down? Yes. Okay. He has a book called The Bumper Fun Grimoire, the official joke book of the Council of the Guild of Fools and Joculars in Discworld. And it's described as a particularly unfunny book with just the worst jokes involving sheep splatters. And so, like, fart noises.
Oh, okay.
So, like, instead of a whoopee cushion, and then I smack thee with a sheep splatter. That kind of thing is the instructions. And if you're going to be funny, you have to follow the joke book. You can't do anything else. Otherwise, you're not allowed to be a clown or a jester or Jake. And that was all he ever wanted until he became king. Anyway, spoiler. For a, 40-year-old book.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
On that book? No. Anything else?
Weirdly enough, I think there's a Vocaloid song that follows the plot of King dies, Jester takes over as the thing. I think it was a relatively good song, but I don't know if it necessarily follows the same plot as Your Shenanigans.
Okay, explain what a Vocaloid is, because, I know because I've talked to you, but...
Vocaloids are basically... Okay. I have text here. I'm going to put this text into a machine, and this machine will sing it for me. And then they put a character's face to that.
AI?
Not in the way that you're thinking of.
Okay.
Because really they can just mess with it the same way that you mess with, like, Bandcamp. Adjusting things. Yeah.
I don't know what Bandcamp is.
Camp.
Okay, Bandcamp. Okay.
It's just you're allowed to mess with the music and adjust the tiles, etc., etc. Yeah. So it's a lot more... What?
Vocoder?
Maybe.
Okay.
But it's very... You have to do it yourself kind of thing.
Okay.
But it sings it out for you.
All right.
It came from Japan. And, well, the more well-knowns for Vocaloid came from Japan. With the most famous one being Miku, the one who has blue hair and giant pigtails. Have you ever seen that?
I think you've showed it to me before.
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple times, and then you keep forgetting it.
I do. I do.
Miku does not stick in your head.
No.
It sounds a bit awkward in English. In English, it's an acquired taste at that point. But it sounds alright in Japanese. It's the original language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Text to speech. Is that right? No, but it's singing. Anyway,
Singing.
My brain's just trying to cough up answers here. Also in the chest in John's room, Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike Cavaney. Cavaney? Cavaney is a magician who wrote tons of books about other magicians.
Oh, okay.
Like 50 books. 50 plus books.
Right. Well, good on him.
Yeah. You look like you're going to say something, so I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah. On the inside of the chest also has a picture of Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson?
Yes.
Yeah. And I went, that's Harry Anderson. I didn't really realize he was actually a magician. I thought he just kind of did stuff like that on Night Court. Because I haven't watched a lot of Night Court because it was on a channel that we didn't have when I was growing up. But it was on all the time. A very silly, cheesy 80s sitcom. The situation of the comedy being that Harry Anderson was the last guy on a long list of judges on the last day of a mayor's term, and everybody else was not answering their phone on a Sunday. So he's like the least competent judge, but he's still on the list. Wow. And I made Ray watch a couple of clips of him so she could see what Harry Anderson was like. And it's very, very cheesy. It's so very cheesy. It does not really hold up very well. Like, the jokes make no sense. And then there's the artificial laugh track. There's a laugh track in the back that sounds very artificial. I don't know if it actually was or not.
You know what? I'm not going to look it up.
He was also on Cheers.
He also had a Harry Anderson sideshow in 1987, which was his magician show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he just traveled with that.
Back to Cavaney, one of the books that he wrote, before we get too far away, is a history of magic from the 1400s to 1950. And he was a life member of a place in Hollywood called the Magic Castle, which was for performers of stage magic, which was purchased by Randy Pitchford of Gearbox in 2022. And we have played several Gearbox games together, notably the Borderlands series.
Yes.
So there's a lot of drama behind that. Do you want to say anything about it?
No.
Okay, I guess. And then we have learned how far we're willing to go with this YouTube channel and video series, and it's Randy Pitchford Not digging it, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Okay, got it. Let's see. And there also in the chest are beagle puss glasses, which is another name for Groucho Marx glasses. I had no idea. It just means puss is slang for face, so it means dog-faced glasses.
Wow.
Why? I don't know. They were just like, Groucho Marx might defend his name if we use these on selling cheap masks and stuff like that. So they're called something else so that you can get away without Groucho Marx rising from his grave and coming to get you with his trademark estate or something. Ironically, the actual Groucho Marx didn't actually wear a fake mustache at all.
Apparently he just swooped with black paint and just went with that.
Yep.
I looked it up and was like, what?
And the real reason that he did it was because he was gonna, and then nobody could find it, so he was just like. But also later in interviews, he said it was very convenient because he could just take it off, and then he was done being Groucho Marx, the performer, which he kind of kept that same persona for decades. Like he ran a game show and stuff like that. You Bet Your Life. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, he ran a game show for a long time, and everywhere he went, once he took the makeup off, nobody could recognize him at all. He didn't look much different than anybody else at the time. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. Disguise.
He Supermaned it.
He Supermaned it. He definitely Supermaned it. We'll look that up.
Oh, to be noted, everything in the chest is used, but not necessarily noticeably used.
Oh, elsewhere in the comic?
Yes.
Okay. I got 2 smoke pellets. Looking up smoke pellets, the kind that you like, I'm going to take a smoke pellet, throw it on the ground, and disappear in a puff of smoke. That's not a real thing. Oh. I know, it's terrible. Smoke pellets exist, but you have to like light them and set them down carefully. And the comes from flash paper, which is like paper soaked, I think, in gunpowder. I don't remember what flash paper is soaked in, but it's 2 separate things that happen at the same time for movies. Mm-hmm. And you throw it on the flash paper, it kind of blows up like maybe like one of those snaps.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So like one of those snaps, you throw it down, but the billowing smoke comes from basically a mini cake. It's not like flying all over the place. It's just some chemicals mixed together and some dye added so that sometimes you can do colors.
For shame.
All right, what do you got?
There's the word copacetic, which I did not know what that meant. Apparently, via mom, it used to be a ironic word used before, meaning satisfactory / groovy at the point it was used.
So the 80s, people started introducing weird things in the 80s in school. So like you had vocabulary words, and they were stupid long words. And so a lot of the slang in the 80s was these vocabulary words that had been like so many people had been tested on the word heinous that it shows up in culture. What was another one? Bodacious, dude. Copacetic was one of the words that flew around.
It reminds me of the word effervescent, which I don't remember the original meaning of the word, but because of Tumblr, a Tumblr post in the POV of Edward Cullen looking at a snail going, "The snail is effervescent," kind of thing. It just ended into Tumblr lexicon and went from there as meaning like ephemeral, basically.
Effervescent kind of is anchored in the idea of bubbles popping. So like there, the cold medicine, it's Alka-Seltzer. It was like baking powder and like citric acid and when you dumped it in hot water, it would fizz, and it was effervescent. So kind of not sparkly, but not sparkly either.
Used with Edward Cullen, though. I guess that makes sense.
Fizzy. He's fizzy. Yes. A fizzy vampire.
Please do not put
is effervescent. But I see why it got divorced from the original meaning, if that's your context.
Yeah. Please do not add water to Edward Cullen.
What a world! What a world! So copacetic, where is that showing up in?
Right before Fetch Modai.
Okay, so we've kind of skimmed past that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But anyway, that's copacetic.
And that's where you left off.
That's where I left off, yep. Okay, so do we want to talk about anything up to that point? Since I got bogged down in the whole, like the Harry Anderson thing took a while.
Oh, actually, I should note this down before I forget, because this is for future writing.
Let's see. How can I entertain you while Ray completely disrupts the whole filming process? I don't know. I don't have any magic tricks. I would pull a coin out of her ear if I could do that, but I can't.
Like the night show?
Yeah, just like the Night Court. The part that we watched had Harry Anderson having a meltdown, and he was doing magic tricks because he couldn't control himself anymore. And we're like, we're going to get to a doctor.
Okay. I will tell you what I wrote down later. But first...
Secrets.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think all of this says about John as a character so far? Like, what kind of personality do you think he's got so far?
Oh, yeah, because I haven't read most of it, so I'm extrapolating.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a while ago, I think, on the trip, when we were brainstorming ideas for this.
Mm-hmm. But now that you have additional context.
I've read these parts before that just the references were flying thick and fast over my head. I feel like he's not really a character yet. And I don't know that he's actually become a character through the section that I read, which was all fairly early. I'm not going to tell you where I stopped because that would be spoiler alert stuff for everybody else. He doesn't seem to have a strong personality other than he likes retro stuff and he gets frustrated with his friends. Like, he's not particularly nerdy. Here's me not saying stuff from later episodes. He's not particularly nerdy. He's not particularly nice. He's very much an everyman character at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in games when you have the character who's kind of neutral so that the maximum number of players will actually play it. He's just kind of that guy.
I will not disagree nor agree.
Okay.
Past that, I read up to 24, 25 pages in total.
Mm-hmm.
So probably our goal should be like about 15 pages, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to take forever. But, I mean, we'll just cover whatever we cover, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we're back here in a week, which should be okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions you want to ask me? Like my poor little innocent naive self here before we move forward.
So, as I mentioned earlier with weird plot shit,
Mm-hmm.
Things can reappear and stuff, as well as like with the chest stuff will reappear. What other things do you think are going to reappear?
I'm pretty sure all of because I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I'm pretty sure all of the elements in the beginning, if the author is doing things correctly, will recur.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to an absurd level. Because when you sprinkle stuff in the opening like this, it's kind of a method of brainstorming for your subconscious. So whether or not you've planned it all out ahead of time, you will often find the story warping to fit whatever you introduce in the beginning. It's like a math problem where you have you set out all your variables, and the back of your creative mind is just calculating along, like, what could I do with Con Air? What could I do with Con Air? Con Air, what could I do? Like, you don't even have to be conscious about it. It shows up. Mm-hmm. So, but if we're thinking about larger patterns, I'm going to say cheesy things are going to show up a lot. Like, even there's probably going to be a bunch of cheesy humor every time something gets weird and terrible. Cheesy elements will probably recur and be woven, because I already know this is such a long work that people find meaningful. Probably these cheesy elements will be woven into something that's more serious and nuanced later. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like he's boxed in this room, and it's such a small room, and it's such a contained place, and his only real exits are through talking to his friends a little bit later. I'll say that much. He talks to his friends a little bit later, but it's online. And through nostalgic, cheesy media. Like, he is kind of just shut in.
Sorry to do this to you. Would you say that he is stuck at his home?
You know, I didn't even think about that. I feel like a dumbass now.
I do puns.
Yes, I kind of really do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's why that's the name of it. Maybe it's just a generational thing, like the stereotype of the Gen Z basement dweller who never comes out. But I got nothing past that.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for me?
I asked them of you, and you answered them in our notes, which was like the arms thing. Just like, why?
He was animating all of this in Photoshop, mm-hmm. but he had the parts kind of like puppet animation, if you've ever seen that, or My Little Pony does this. Mm-hmm. Here is a base body, which is shape of some kind. Mm-hmm. Then here is on a new layer, the head. Here is on another layer, the face. And on another layer, the legs. That kind of thing.
This is going to break my heart. He did this in Photoshop and not MS Paint.
For the animation stuff. I'm pretty sure the base drawings of things was in MS Paint for, like, building the base body, head, etc., etc.
Okay. So at least at some point in the MSPaintAdventures.com saga, at least some of his adventures were done in MS Paint.
Yes.
Okay. I'll live with that. I mean, this is so long that it's hard to think of him hand drawing everything every single time. South Park does that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of South Park. Yeah. Do you have anything else? All right.
You?
No?
Okay.
I'll have to ruminate.
Oh, wait.
There's Snake. Where did we get that?
The zoo.
Which zoo?
I do not remember.
We just moved across country and stopped at the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans and the Fort Worth Zoo. And I think that's a Fort Worth Zoo, but I don't remember for sure. Anyway, he's a cutie.
Yes.
A banana snake.
Baby.
Banana python? Or banana snake? I forget. Somebody came up and said it was, oh, look at your cute, whatever it was.
Banana python.
Banana python. Okay, so it's a banana python. And our current mascot. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Who we were going to put on the banister back there, be like, oh yeah, little cool detail in the background, but I'm entirely blocking the way.
So he went through several permutations of where to sit on Ray's head in her shirt, around her neck.
Like that.
And he's so coiled up that he's like, nah. I will disappear. Okay. Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.